everybody. I wanted to take you through our next project just in case you weren't here to kind of hear the directions. Our main focus of the project is thinking about having a subject but also how to use the space around it, so specifically a background. How can you use the extra space in the print to create a really visually interesting image? So you can see my main focus is an owl figures kind of popping up, but then I have some trees and a moon, and I'm going to add some stars and things. We're going to be working with a very different type of print block this time. We're going to be working with a rubber piece of material that we're going to actually carve into and remove. So we'll be using carving tools for the first time. To get the image on your block, what you're going to want to do is flip your piece over, and you're going to want to use oil pastels to just color the back. And you're going to really just mess it up, put color all over it. And we're going to do the transfer process that we used before, where we're going to apply pressure, but this time instead of it making the foam kind of be crushed and make lines on the foam, it's just going to leave marks on our rubber so we can see where our picture is. So I have that all set to go. I'm going to put it onto my print block, get it kind of lined up, and then I'm just going to go over my lines with pencil. And when I lift up, you can see it marks it up very lightly with the oil. And then I can go in with a Sharpie and just draw my lines so that they don't fade or smudge. So I have my owl, and then I could go back in and add in the details of his face. So I could go around his beak, his eyes, and just outline everything so that I know where stuff goes on my print. Lift it up. I can now kind of see very lightly the details, and I will outline them so that I don't lose them and they stay there. So I outline my eyes, outline the tummy, etc., etc. I have trees, so I'm just going to quickly freehand those in, but you'd want to transfer them, and then my moon. There we go. Now I'm kind of ready to start carving. For safety reasons, you're going to want to be very, very careful with the blades. There's basically 3 types of blades you can use. One has sort of a V shape to it, and it'll cut really nice clean lines, but again, the tips are very sharp. We have a detail tool, which has a teeny tiny tip, and then we have a curved U-shaped tool, which is used to remove a big space. Like if I want to remove my moon, that's the way to go. And to use your printmaking tool, what you're going to do is you're going to grab a handle from the mint cart that's behind my desk, and you will want to unscrew the top a little bit, and there's a little groove in there that one end of your blade will fit into, and it's the end that has writing on it. I'm going to go ahead, and if you wiggle it, it should fit right into the handle, and then you just want to screw it tight. I'm always going to cut away from my hand, so making sure, just be aware I'm holding down here and cutting away. Anything I cut away will stay the color of the paper. If I don't cut something away, it's going to turn the color of the ink, which is going to be black in this case. My best suggestion when you're first carving, you don't have to apply too much pressure. And I always think it's best to do the outlines of things. And notice I'm always keeping my hand behind, and I'm even turning the block to make a cut. So there is the outside of my moon. And then I would go in probably with that U-shaped tool and just remove the material where I want it to stay white. So I'm just cutting across. I do not want to cut all the way through my rubber, so just make sure you're removing a little bit. You don't want the blades to disappear. Just make sure you can see the tops poking out, and just work your way across. Start removing the material. You can see I've already cut away one on the back. If you do make a mistake, you can always flip it over and use the back of your rubber foam block. So that's not a big deal. The other thing you may have noticed I just did was these little pieces of rubber should just be thrown in the trash. If they get in your ink, they're going to cause all sorts of weird problems for you. So make sure to throw those away. The actual blades of the printmaking materials are going to go into a foam organizer that's behind my desk on the mint cart. It looks like this, and you just want to take your blade and press it right back where it goes. So this was my U-shaped blade, so it's just going to go right back there. My TA or Gil, my sub, will check to make sure these are all in place before you leave class each day. So that is the basics of cutting.